Okay, ask me question. Okay, first of all, okay, I'm going to give thanks to Dr. Rania ma'am who invited me here because I'm very happy to share my views about poetry and the science. Yeah, both are reporting truth as well as the practical side here. Then I am going to give thanks to Dr. Ishta ma'am and Professor Anju ma'am also.
Yes, yes.
So it's
Thank you,
very,
thank you.
very good program here.
Yeah. Hello and warm
Hello.
welcome. Hello and warm welcome, dear audience. This is Dr. Estamala, your firstly and successful global educator, SDG and technology enthusiast from Malaysia, who not only focus on her life but also desire to see others excel in their lives by offering quality education for all. Dear respected, precious audience, esteemed academicians, and the dedicated project team of Elegant Empire Education welcomes you to the Real Talk with Experts. Today, we are having STEAM forum. Okay, so I'm gladly greeting and welcoming you to another episode on Educational Forum STEAM. We are truly privileged to have Professor Dr. Rania Lampu here with us today as our honorable host and our beautiful guest, Ma'am Til Kumari Sharma. We explore in this forum, we explore transformative strategies that empower communities through knowledge. Together, let us engage in this insightful discussion that inspires action and foster collaboration for a sustainable future with our ma'am Til Kumari Sharma. So I thank you for joining us, ma'am, in this vital conversation. Now I invite Dr. Rania Lampu to take the floor. Dr. Rania?
Thank you so much, dear Estera. Welcome, dear Tilkumari. Warm greetings, dear all audience around the world, parents, educators, and students. Welcome to the Real Talk with Experts, hosted by me, Professor Anya Lampu, and Dr. Estera. I'm advisor at Elegant Empire Education, and I'm working at the Greek Ministry of Education. Welcome again to our education and lifestyle journey towards 2030. This forum is powered by Elegant Empire Education International, a prestigious educational-based organization which focuses on quality education for all, regardless race, country, and religion. Our idealistic and visionary founder, Ambassador Professor Esther Mala, focuses on upholding a quality education that develops individuals from all walks of life to their potential, which ignites curiosity, enriches knowledge, and nurtures personal and professional growth. Her vision matches with the mission of Elegant Empire Education as it curates a diverse range of online summits, workshops, webinars, and training sessions led by experts and outstanding leaders from various fields. Elegant Empire Education creates an inclusive and supportive environment, and by harvesting the power of technology and innovation, and through this platform, we aim to collaboratively organize educational events that will enhance knowledge dissemination, skill development, and fostering a lifelong learning global community. Elegant Empire Education strictly follows the slogan, quality education for all. And our session today is very interesting because it is dedicated on a topic based on STEAM education, the power of poetry in the classroom. We know that poetry in the classroom holds immense power in shaping students' intellectual, emotional, creative development. It provides an avenue for self-expression, fosters critical thinking, and builds connections across cultures and history. Today, we have a multi-award winning poet, world record holder actually, poetess Tilkumari Sharma from Nepal. She's going to explain to us what are the several ways in which poetry can be a transformative tool in education, especially in science education, because integrating poetry and science in the classroom at the same time. This nurtures both, according to neuroscience, the left brain, logical, analytical brain, and the right brain, creative and imaginative, all these aspects of students' thinking. Poetry definitely in science and science classroom brings a human and emotional element to the world of science, while science provides structure and observation to the artistic process. So by blending these disciplines, we're going to see how students can explore, can express, and discover in ways that deepen their engagement with both subjects and ultimately fostering a lifelong passion with both science and literature. So welcome, Ms. Tilkumari, and I will start with my first question. How can we effectively combine science with poetry, STEM education in the classroom, in order to enhance both creative expression and scientific understanding? If you have an experience on this, when I was conducting in the past one project of CERN with my students, I remember that students had written many poems which were inspired by particle physics, and it was amazing. I still have these poems of my students. It's something memorable. So the floor is yours. What do you think?
Okay. Okay, I'm Tilkumari Sharma from Nepal, and I am very much happy to see you and you invite me here, Rania ma'am. Always, I am grateful to you to invite in this program, in this kind of program about education. Okay, now I am going to talk about or answer about the how can we effectively combine science and poetry. Okay, actually, you see, science is practical knowledge here. In this way, poetry also a kind of report or to invent new things within the nature as the science does in the universe or nature. Yeah. So when dealing with poetry, we can combine rational, practical knowledge with the fact as in science that associate science with the poetry. Both are interconnected terms. Both go to find out the truth and nature to study. Both are concerned to newer, innovative, and civilized world. So science and poetry are near and dear, which are effective to teach in classroom about creativity of wisdom and experience of the practical understanding.
Definitely. Actually, we can use poetry to illustrate scientific concepts. There is a good, when they connected it, as you said, we can use metaphors for complex ideas, for example. Students can use poetry to break down complex scientific concepts like ecosystems or chemical reactions or the laws of physics by creating metaphors. And definitely, something very interesting, it happens with observation. For example, if we take our students observe the natural world, and write down poetry based on their observations, for example, a walk through a local park or garden can prompt students to write poems about plants, about animals, or weather patterns, STEAM education. It's amazing. So by connecting the scientific observation process with poetry, students can see the beauty in both nature and science. That's why there are nowadays many interdisciplinary projects where students try to collaborate on scientific topics using, for example, themes, thematics from space and art at the same time, incorporating artistic expression. And believe me that according to my experience, it's impossible to teach science in primary education without using art, whether this is kinesthetic activity. For example, my students, at the age of 7 years old, presented the model of the atom kinesthetically. So at the age of 11 years old, we already knew how as the model of the atom, how this worked, already at the age of 7 years old, because they had represented it kinesthetically. Of course, through the paintings, through Lego with that has to do with art. So this is very important. And another issue has to do, of course, with emotions. How do you think that poetry can help students nowadays express emotions they might feel difficult to articulate in everyday conversation or writing? We know very well that students are difficult nowadays. They can't express easily their emotions. Usually they ask, for example, they confide in their friends, not in their parents. So it's not easy for them to express themselves. So how poetry can help them?
Okay, listen, poetry help to express emotion lonely, yeah? If they cannot express their writing and speech in the public or among the friends, they can just express in isolation, loneliness, and they develop their mind and they create their emotion and experience makes them practice practical person. Then again in the public they can express, yeah. So it is a kind of the expression or practical expression by writing in isolation. If we feel inferior, or suppose any student feels inferior in public place to speak as well as in writing, they feel difficulty because of habit, yeah? Then they go to the lonely place and they can write and read, and in that way they can express their emotion feelings lonely, yeah. So they feel difficulty in public and daily writing and experience writing and creation, but they can adjust the feelings in lonely place and they can express in the form of poetry.
Yes, definitely. Do you agree, Ms. Til Sharma, what they say about poems and poets, that when you are suffering and when you are isolated and lonely, you write the most significant poems? Is it true?
Yeah.
That the most tormented poets, the most successful poets were the most tormented, those who were suffering a lot. Do you agree with this?
Romance also sometimes it is also necessary in a lonely place also sometimes, because sometimes the environment make students inferior to express their feelings in the public or a daily time. So at a time they can express their romance as well as tragic feelings in lonely place, then they can express after that in the public place.
Yes, definitely.
So solitude is powerful when you're alone and when you're alone.
Very often I used to write poetry in lonely place, isolation here. I can express joyfully.
Yes, definitely. And of course, when we talk about poetry, it's something which is less structured and more open. So unlike standard formats of writing or speaking, poetry doesn't have such rules or expectations. So this freedom of expression allows students to express emotions without the fear of judgment and without making mistakes. So this flexibility actually lets students approach complex feelings in a less conventional way, and see also science in a more, without fear. And it's all about personal voice and style also, because this gives students the opportunity to develop their own voice, to choosing their own words, choose their own rhythm, choose the form that resonates with them. So I think that definitely students can express their emotions, as you said, especially when they're isolated, as you mentioned. And when we're writing from a distance, as you mentioned, students might find it easier to write about their feelings through a poem that is metaphorical, or set in a different context. This takes usually symbolic dimensions. So it's something very important. And here is the anonymity of creative expression. When students write poetry, they can adopt different personas. They can create a sense of detachment from their own experiences. So I'm telling this, I have a bachelor degree in French language literature. So I know a lot about poetry, and I love all the poets of the 21st century, and also the French, especially poets. So now I would like to ask you, in what ways can writing or reading poetry improve students' emotional intelligence and self-awareness? I think since it is connected. Okay.
She got disconnected. She got disconnected.
Okay.
But Dr. Rania, let me ask you something while waiting for her. I think you know
Yes.
this area better. I'm not so well versed with poetry, but I like poetry also. So, do you think poetry differs? The elements in poetry differs from one country to another country, or one region to another region?
No, I think that poetry has a universal language
Uh-huh.
because emotions are universal.
Uh-huh.
What? Yes, yes. Of course, we talk about the diversity of cultures, diversity of voices. Yes, this can reflect many times, the cultural traditions of each
Yeah.
nation. But I think that the main essence, the deep essence of the poetry is universal.
Yeah.
So this is the power of brevity, as we say, is when we try to condense complex emotions. Emotions can be very overwhelming or difficult to explain in long, drawn-out sentences.
Yeah.
So poetry's conciseness, it's not easy. It's very, I'm writing poems. So
Yes.
poetry's conciseness challenges students to capture complex emotions in just a few lines. So this can make the expression of these feelings more manageable, we could say.
Yeah,
This
nowadays we find students find it very, even youngsters, they find it very difficult to express. Even university students, they find it very difficult to express, to put their feelings, their thoughts into writing. Yeah, because I
exactly,
think
and
much of involvement with the gadgets and all that, they feel that they don't have time to go into something more relaxing like poetry. But I still enjoy poetry because but now, like in my country, in Malaysia now, as I told you, that English um, uh, level is not that good compared to before. This is all due to the you know politics and
yes,
all that. So that's why I always say, politicians, put your hands off education. Yes, you may be the ruler, okay, you may be in power, but entrust this education into academicians' hand. They know how to carry it forward. They know how to nurture the nation, the people of the nation. You see, politicians, they don't know how to nurture the nature of, the people. You see, but
mhm.
academicians, they are born to nurture people of all ages. So I just hope that things will change in Malaysia and they will bring back all this poetry. They have it in Bahasa Malaysia, our national language. They have literature, everything. But I think many years, about 10, 15 years ago, they had uh, literature in English. We have one subject in
Mhm.
English, literature. We write poem, we read poem, we interpret poems, from famous poets and all that. But now it's
Yes,
all gone.
I want to ask
Even
you
our
here
history
because
is tempered. Even our
since you say
history is tempered. Very sad.
since you mentioned this about the curriculum in Malaysia, this
Yeah,
year for the first time, our ministry
yeah.
started launching sessions with literature text, with whole literature text, because until recently we were teaching extracts from literature, extracts from
Yeah.
poems, and not never a whole literature, book. So
Uh-huh.
for the first time, we have introduced this in order, to promote reading in the classroom, etc. It was a strategy, technique of our ministry.
Oh.
So what is happening there in Malaysia? I mean, how do you teach poetry or literature in fragmented manner or through
Let me
whole
tell you
books?
openly, most of our people, they are not happy. Okay, we are not happy with the level of English and our education system. I would like to tell this very boldly. Okay, we are really not happy with the education system here and the syllabus and the hours spent for English. Earlier we had maths and English. That's why I say each time a new politician take over, it's just like how the waves come to the shore. Each time is a different color, different scent, you know. So just like that, each time one politician take over, everything changes. Then another one will come. This one will come in and say, okay, we'll do maths and English. I'm sure you know our former prime minister, the longest ruling prime minister, Tun Mahathir. Okay, he emphasizes, he's a doctor, he's a medical doctor, so he emphasizes that we should have science and maths in English. We had it, and I see the changes in the students, because we have high school students who is not good in English. When they came to secondary, higher school, they do maths in English. They can read, but they cannot understand. Why? Because they are not used to applying. They use the words English, speak in English, write in English, other than English language, and the English language is very low level. So what the most parents do, if they can afford, they send to international school, they send to some English learning centers where they can sharpen. Like me, I had learning center and all that. I make sure, because school time, during school time, before the holidays, they have to cover all the syllabus, because they have monthly exams, you know, and they have term exams. So we have to finish up the syllabus. But during school holidays, I do things differently. I don't care about what do people do during holiday. I do what I teach my students, all that they don't learn in English in school. A lot of things. Let's try. Yeah, she's back. So I do that. You see,
this that hampers me very much today. Oh God, you ask question and I'll answer and finish.
Okay, you are back. Let's pick up the
trend. Okay.
Dr.
So yes.
Okay, it will go after 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Then you ask me question, then I'll tell.
Okay. So in what ways can writing or reading poetry can improve students' emotional intelligence or self-awareness?
Okay, the students who read poetry, their mind seems aware of everything by getting knowledge and sharpening imagination more, and they are encouraged to be poets. The writing exercise makes them mature to imagine with unconscious follow. But ethical imagination, the reading brings the infinite knowledge to have innovation of the new creativity for the students. In this way, the students can get the emotional intelligence as well as self-awareness by reading and writing and practicing. Yeah.
Definitely. And this means that how can teachers create a safe environment where students can feel comfortable sharing personal or emotional poetry?
Yeah. Okay. The teachers can make safe environment by giving freedom of the expression and a fresh environment by motivation of the positive feedback to students. By giving intellectual environment and a sense of positivity, can share personal poetry among public to teach society. Yeah. In this way, giving the fresh environment, the teacher can give the safe environment with love, respect, positive feedback, etc.
So safe environment, this means non-judgmental environment where students feel comfortable, they feel safe, fostering trust, promoting empathetic listening. And in what ways can poetry encourage innovative thinking, as you mentioned, problem solving, which is essential in STEM education?
Yeah. Okay, by reading and writing, the poetry can inspire or motivate the students to bring novel ideas and to solve problems by creating new methods. And poetry itself is inventor as well as philosophy. Philosophy means to solve the problems. Yeah. So because of that, knowing poetry and practicing poetry means they are sourcing to solve the problems, and poetry itself give the way to solve the problems for the students. Yeah, slowly they are mature and they can solve. They know what is poetry. Then they know what is life. Then they themselves are mature to solve the problems after reading and writing the poetry. Daily or habitual reading and writing makes them philosopher to solve problems themselves.
Yes, yes, and this has to do with risk also. It's about risk taking and experimentation, because writing poetry often requires students to take risks, whether it's experimentation with language or structure of the form. So this mindset of experimentation can carry over into problem solving, and of course critical thinking, because analyzing poetry often involves examining how different literary forms work together to create a meaning. Definitely, thank you. So now another question: how does reading poetry differs from different cultural contexts? I mean, how this can promote empathy and a broader understanding of the world?
Yeah, it is sure. From cultures of the world, we can know or we can get many information. As the student also get more information of the world. Culture is the way of the knowledge or the human life surviving point. Because of that, the culture of the different nations gives the way of the knowledge to know the world. In this way, the students can get the broader concept of the knowledge by reading the poets of the world, by collecting different cultures from the poetry.
Yeah, and I know that you have participated in many festivals, multicultural festivals,
Cultural festivals.
international competitions. I know you have participated, and you are a winner on this.
Yeah.
So we need to explore and get inspired by other cultures and other traditions. So it's about experiencing the diverse perspectives and promote respect for diversity. Now, what do you think about public
Collect the
speaking?
knowledge from diversity, can collect the knowledge from diversities, and they know humanity as well as the culture. Yeah, theme is same. So they can collect humanity from diversity of the knowledge, and they can express. And poetry is a kind of life surviving point to know each other. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So something else about, the word, the art pitching. The art of pitching is the art of presenting something publicly. How can poetry performance, or in general spoken word activities, help students develop public speaking or presentation skills? What do you think?
Yeah. Poetry is a kind of expression of the human emotion in writing form, as well as sometimes in reciting poetry. It is the revolution against injustice too. So if any poet writes poetry and recites it, gives the confidence of the communication in front of the public, that helps to create human active performance in front of the community as well as in the crowd, public. In this way, the students can develop their self-confidence to talk about poetry or to write poetry, to recite poetry, and they can collect knowledge. And they're very active in public speaking.
Yes, and this has to do with body language, because they learn how to master body language and gestures.
It depends upon habit. If we have not habit, we also cannot even we cannot speak Nepali mother tongue also. Habit should be there. So because of that, in this way, the students should be active in public programs and to recite poetry. They have confidence how to speak or to recite poetry, and they can collect knowledge.
Yes,
but do you think? Carry on.
Yes,
do you think that?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Today this internet makes me very horny because
that's why we call you here.
I'm updating whether it will go.
Okay, just one short question. I think just for a change, do you think by just in school, how can we start teaching young children, primary school, to write poetry? Can we give them a short story? We can create a short story, and from the short story, can we write a poem? Teach children to write a poem.
Okay. Poetry's introduction from early childhood creates the innovative of the mind from inner desire of knowledge, which helps to write and read poetry lifelong. When from early age anyone knows poetry, it becomes like positive drug to sharpen mind maturely, and habit becomes essential to read and write. When we give something nature, something interesting about nature, and we show the children to see their and express their feelings. When we focused these small students to nature to write something about that, then they can write. Then we also told them to express the same things in the public, then they also can express in this way. They are very interesting. Then we should give them positive feedback. We should inspire them. Oh, very good. In this way, positive feedback, then they can write and write and they become mature. Then from early period they can see or write, and lifelong they are concerned to poetry. Yeah, poetry is a kind of drug for those who like the poetry. It is drug, yeah, positive drug. Then children also goes go in this way.
I think in Malaysia, the children's they fear, you know, even high school
Yeah,
students, they
yeah,
fear poetry in English.
yeah,
Anything to do with
yeah,
English, they really fear because they have come to a level where they
yeah,
know that they're not good in English. So it's very
yeah,
sad, because it wasn't like this before in Malaysia.
yeah. Yeah.
So now,
Okay,
why?
we should make environment also reading and writing. Yeah. Sometimes the bad environment also makes the students to go in a wrong way. So we should give a good environment, very often educated environment to them. Then they themselves go to that environment and they themselves create in this way. There is no need to give feedback frequently by us, because environment also is very good thing. Yeah, suppose a small child is there, we are reading here, that child also see us, then take copy pen and start to what is here. So in this way the environment also should be there to introduce poetry from early age.
No, first thing, the parents, I think, must have the awareness why
Yeah,
children got to learn poetry, how they have to, like, you see, not all parents can afford to send children for
yeah,
classes. They
yeah,
even
all
everyone
parents
sending
can.
children for tuition classes. In school, they
Yeah,
learn that. They go to tuition
yeah,
class, they learn again. They are not
yeah,
progressing further than what they know in school. You see,
yeah,
so the parents must have the awareness that English is not what you learn in school alone. English is
yeah.
so much that I'm still learning. You see, so
Yeah, 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 we are learning and learning, and until death we are learning.
yes, yes, Dr. Rania,
Knowledge
you
is
take over.
not complete. Knowledge is not
Yes.
complete, and language is just a method of the communication. Yeah, that one language, our cultures of the diversity is same. All the culture of the world is going to create humanity and morality. Yeah, in the corner of the another world also same culture. We have also same culture, but expressing way is different because of a language. So if language is on, then all learn very quickly. Yeah, though we are trying to give the students such environment to learn from early period, there is sometimes some students can learn easily, sometimes some students do not learn. So in this way we can create the environment for the students to learn poetry from early age.
Mhm.
Exactly, excellent. Like what Dr. Rania mentioned at the beginning there, just now, say we activate the right and the left brain. Became when we start writing poetry, we try to express, be more creative. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
think they can study better if they know how to express. Because they are creative.
I think for
yeah,
preschool students, it's easier because it's the musicality of poetry.
yeah,
The poetry is
yeah,
a
rhymes.
rhyme, playful language that can be captivating for
Yeah,
young children.
yeah,
And so poetry encourages more young learners to explore their imaginations. And of course, we introduce children to new vocabulary, very important, new vocabulary and
yeah,
language structures at an
yeah,
early age. So
They
they
will
come to
yeah,
understand the
understand.
depth
vocabulary.
of the language.
Yeah,
They will
yeah,
understand
vocabulary is very
language
important.
takes them to depth of the language. Yeah, because
Yeah,
see how they express. Not everybody when you
yeah,
read, you straight away understand. So it
Yeah,
empowers the vocabulary skills.
Power of vocabulary also should be there. Language should be there. Yeah. Language also should be familiar for them to express the things, as well as vocabulary should be there. And okay, it is if the environment, vocabulary, knowledge, all things should be there. Then sometimes in difficult environment and difficult situation, also student can learn because of interest. Yeah, interest is also should be there. Interest is a permanent segment. If any student wants, then he can learn. He or she can learn anyway.
Yeah, you see, just one example. Like those days, you can see people write when a guy loves a girl, he writes a letter,
Yeah.
poem, and all that. But now we don't see that. Only WhatsApp text. They only know WhatsApp text. They can't express well. Only WhatsApp text. They don't know poetry. They don't
Yeah.
even. They're like handicapped. They can't everything.
Yeah.
Everything comes down to
Yeah.
expression. Yeah, emotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr.
Okay,
Rania, please.
we should teach the students that if you have free feelings, anything you write there, we must say them free thought, free feelings should you express in your writing or speaking morally, ethically. Poetry should be free, but as a human, we should seek the ethical point also. Yeah, and sometimes we see any poem we cannot read in the public also. That is also poetry. But we should teach our students ethically. They should express whatever comes there. Then we'll check and we'll suggest, we'll inspire them. Then they can create easily.
Yes, definitely. And about public speaking that we said before, that poetry performances often involve more than just words. I mean, the body language, the gestures help you to emphasize emotions and meanings. So students become more familiarized with how physical presence, such as posture or eye contact, hand gestures, can influence the audience perception and engagement. And let's not forget about.
I think that positive feedback without anger, we can tell students to write poetry, and we also give the hints to connect poetry with the science, with practical knowledge, and they are communicating. Students are communicating each other to know poetry also, science also. They can now. Students are active.
Yes, strengthen communication skills, because this way we emphasize important words or phrases, try to communicate our ideas more effectively.
Yeah.
And this means reinforcing our communication skills, which is very, very important. So
I think we invite Ma'am Til Kumari to have a masterclass with us about the importance of to create awareness for parents and the rest of the global audience that what is poem, why it is important, why should we encourage our children to learn all this, Ma'am Kumari, I think we invite you for a masterclass. Yeah, Dr. Rania, so.
Yes, I want just to say about emotions.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Poem is a kind of free feather, yeah? Free feather to fly anywhere with ethical wings. Yeah? Poem is a kind of free flight with ethical wings. Then we can travel with the words in the world. Yeah, then we can create another world by changing the perspective of present world. Poetry can lead the world itself, not only political leaders here.
Poetry can change the world. Art can change the world. Yes, I definitely agree. And we said before about shared experiences. When students share their poems with others, they often discover that their emotions are not unique. So poetry allows for connections. Students express vulnerable emotions. This invites them to do others to do the same. So this creates a sense of community. And also, we said in the beginning that the students have difficulty expressing emotions because they don't have the right words. So poetry gives students the chance to discover these words, helping them express, articulate feelings that they didn't even know how to describe. So this process can be empowering. And lastly, I want to say about therapy, how therapeutical is poetry, this emotional healing. Because
Yeah.
poetry can be a powerful tool for emotional healing. It's the
Yeah.
catharsis. We were talking about
Yeah.
catharsis in theater,
Poets,
but this
poets
happens
also
also.
are very concerned to humanism also. Yeah, poets are concerned to humanism also. Then the heart melt in the tragic situation of the others quickly. Yeah. So because
Yes,
of
yes.
that, it is a kind of leading process to change the world. The cruelty turns into the love, respect, and the kindness because of poetry, reading and writing, and knowing about the theme of the poetry. Okay, the students should know about death also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And when we
poetry.
write about personal experiences about the loss of someone, something
Yeah,
traumatic, something stressful, this helps us process our emotions and gain
yeah,
closure. So this helps with our emotional growth and resilience. So
yeah,
mindfulness and self-awareness are related. Mindfulness and self-awareness with both poetry, definitely.
yeah. Okay, very interesting program here. Poetry is my very interesting program. Sometimes I am here fearful to the date whether it goes. Then sometimes I am hurrying because in 15 minutes, yeah, in 15 minutes net is going and again it is opening. Then my mobile does not work to the because I don't know why it does so.
You are very lively. You're very lively.
Okay, very very nice, ma'am. You are very good. You are very active also to leader to take leadership also. So I am very when I see you, I am encouraged to see you, and I am hurrying to visit you also.
Oh, please come, please come. Please come. All, everybody love Malaysia. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
so like,
okay. Yeah,
yeah, so
Rania, ma'am, you are very active, ma'am. You are also very you are very active here. You have more knowledge in everything, and you can have the inspiration power to influence others also. Yeah. And
I have
so
a
I'm very happy to see you all. Today I am going to know you, ma'am, Mr. Ma'am, and another ma'am also in name. Yes, she's not coming today. Then, so I'm very happy to see you, to visit you, to speak you. It is our also another expression to write something also here.
please write poem for about this. And I'm always very motivated because I'm very motivated and eager to share a lot. I'm still elegant empires forums are still going on because I've got
Yeah,
very good supportive leaders with
yeah,
me, Professor Ania Lampo and Assistant Professor Dr. Anjum Qureshi. So with these two by my
yeah.
side, I think we can do wonders. Where we all are busy people, so we have to
Okay.
take one step at a time. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. If we only educated females are here, then we can move this world in another side with the same kind of knowledge because all women are not in such way. You are here. You are very
Yeah,
intelligent, and even we are from different countries. Then you are very good and intelligent, moral. But all women are not such. So poetry should give education for them too. They should have interest to read the poetry. Even uneducated or literate women also should have the interest to read and write. Yeah, just the expression is there in poetry. So we should teach all women, students, males also to write poetry and ethical to create ethical society and humanity, kindness, respect should be there. In present world, cruelty is widened, so we should create kindness, respect in a world. The world is just a home. Home. We are family members here.
yes,
So
yes,
that creates our humanity in the world, and we can express each other as we the students also when they are near and dear to us, they can express, write, they can learn easily.
yes. Fantastic, dear.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Really
Okay.
appreciate.
I'm very
So
happy today
yeah, so
because
I
we
was
communicating each other also.
yes, yes, really glad to have you with us, and we are looking forward
Yeah.
to have you again. So I would pass back to Dr. Rania to do the closing.
The closing, yes.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, dear Tilkumari Sharma from Nepal, Dr. Esther, all participants. It's my honor to give the closing remarks to the forum Real Talk with Experts. What a joy to organize this forum online, to be able to welcome experts and dignitaries in the field of education, which is a good sign to collaborate together to enhance the education system globally. I would strongly emphasize that the slogan "Quality Education for All" accomplishes the mission and vision of elegant higher education today. Thank you so much, dear Tilkumari,
Okay.
for
Okay. Thank you,
highlighting.
ma'am. Thank you.
Wait a minute. For highlighting that poetry has a unique and transformative power in the classroom, offering students opportunities to explore their emotions, to enhance their creativity, develop critical life skills. By encouraging self-expression through poetry, educators can foster an environment that values vulnerability, empathy, diverse perspectives, and the benefits of integrating poetry to education go beyond literary analysis. It helps students build confidence, improve communication, cultivate a love for language that can last a lifetime. Integrating poetry and science, as we said in this classroom about STEM, may seem like something odd, but when these two different fields are combined, they can create a rich, multifaceted learning experience that nurtures both creativity and analytical thinking. So the intersection of these two disciplines, arts and science, can actually help students develop a deeper understanding of the world around them, while at the same time fostering critical thinking, imagination, and sense of wonder. And finally, to say that poetry offers students a creative, always a flexible and powerful way to express difficult emotions, because it provides the freedom, as you said, to explore feelings without the constraints of everyday conversation or formal writing. By using metaphors, symbols, structured language, poetry allows students to connect with their emotions in a deeply and therapeutic way, healing way. So before putting this forum to a close, I want to thank you again, dear Tilkumari, for your very informative talk. Heartfelt gratitude to the rest of the brilliant audience, to teachers, the parents, to the students who made it here with us today out of your busy schedule. We will meet again next week with another interesting topic. And before I let you go, let us give a big thank you to Ambassador Professor Esther Mala, the visionary founder, the brain and the heart of Elegant Higher Education, as the project director. See you soon. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I also give infinite thanks to you all here to invite me here. Then I'm very happy to speak with you to share what is about poetry and how to teach poetry in the classroom. So I'm very happy to see you. My infinite thanks never ends to you. Okay, thank you very much.
Same here. I reciprocate it to you. I reciprocate it to you. The same. We are feeling excited. In spite of the hurdles we faced at the beginning of the session, we made it. We made it. Congratulations. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
dear.
See you.
We'll meet again in another interesting session next
Okay.
week. Yeah.